Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakah HaKodash. And double honors to my other apostles, the great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful members of the elect, the Bukharim, the house of David, that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered in these lasting times and to be the ruling governing body of the nation in Yasha. And a famine is being announced worldwide, an incoming famine. All right. And, it's no coincidence that the chip is being announced in mainstream media now. All right. They're gradually pushing towards that chip. Okay. Because this is one of the devices they're going to use to persuade the people to take it. When a famine comes, people are going to lose all hope and they're going to have no other choice but to take it. You see, those that are not in the truth, those that have no hope. All right. Talking about our people, the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the heathens, you're through by default. But this is one of the devices they're going to use is a famine. All right. So this is Dabu 7. I'm going to play a couple. All right. And we just had if you could see, a rare black moon eclipse. All right. That was the day on the Shabbat, the new moon. You see? So without further ado, let me play this.
Hi, this is Governor Ron DeSantis. We are fighting the good fight in the state of Florida, and the left and the...
This is Dabu 7. The situation here globally with food is getting worse by the day. Some people ignoring the situation, but those that see what's coming are getting plans together and making moves quickly. As the price of things continue to go up, as inflation continues to kill the dollar, that is what is affecting Americans, but globally. Every person out there that's trying to get their hands on some food is finding it more difficult than the years or even weeks past. They're now saying that we're heading toward a famine here of large proportions, and it looks like, by all means, this is going to be staged and engineered because they got money for war, but not to feed the poor.
Right.
Period. Without any excuses. Doesn't matter who it is. Any 1%er out there doesn't want to help the poor, there's no excuse. Doesn't matter how much you're in love.
Like Joe Biden sending 13 billion to Ukraine. They have money for war, but not to feed the poor, because they're the ones that's orchestrating all of this, all right? The elites. Ultimately, the Most High, Yahweh.
With them. How much you like them and their image. Actions speak louder than words. And we have a senator that just stepped up and says, we've never seen anything like this, that we are facing an imminent famine. So the U.S. senator admitting that we are heading into the direction of a large-scale famine that is being engineered 100%. So there's no one else to blame but the politicians and those that people have allowed to control things, unless you want to take the power back and do something about that. You see, hopefully at some point, hopefully this summer, we see people spring into action and rise. We need some kind of movement in this country to take the freedom and the power back, or they're going to wash it all away. Matter of fact, that is the plan, by design, and it's hidden in the open. Actually, books written on it and everything else. If people just took the time to find it, it's right there. So what's coming around the corner is all by design. And make sure to join me for the live streams where I talk about things like this, censorship-free, and more.
All right, let me play another one.
This is Dabu 7. We've been talking about the supply chain. We've been talking about food shortages. But it looks like they're ratcheting this whole thing up a bit, and it's all by design and going ahead as planned. We're looking here at the Chinese economy as well, seeing it grinding to a halt as they're shutting everything down in this new wave, and their ports just got boats just anchored all over the place with goods sitting on them or just sitting at the docks, not getting shipped out. This in turn is affecting the world. So that seems to be orchestrated fully by the government there out of China. And then we see a lot of blame being pitched on everything that's going on with Russia and Ukraine, and that causing supply chain issues. Then throw in on top of it inflation and everything else that's been going on, stacked on top of our own supply chain issues that were sparked here on the West Coast. This all ties into someone's big agenda out of the WEF. Someone called Klaus Schwab, him and his buddies, and all the goons that go back to their website that track back to be a member.
Yep, and one of them is Elon Musk. No coincidence that he just bought Twitter. All this is just being orchestrated for the New World Order. Mark Zuckerberg, the metaverse. All right, transhumanism. Okay, they all go back to the World Economic Forum, even Putin. You see, so things are gradually getting worse. All right, things are turning up in Shanghai, China. They're rioting all over again. All right, this reminds me of in 2019 at the end, before the whole lockdowns. All right, Hong Kong was rioting. All right, civilians against the police force. Then you had the what, and then the lockdowns came. All right. And I remember doing a video on it and saying that I was going to come here. And it came here and worldwide. All right.
Of this big global thing that is formed. That's right. When you've got people from all these other countries joining this big club, I think you should pay attention. Now, they like to telegraph things. They like to hide it in movies. They like to put it right out there so you know in advance that it's going to happen. It's almost like it's part of the rules to the game.
Right. And, I was playing this game. It's called Dying Light 2. It's a zombie game. And, the game is, it has to be, these big time games, the elites have their hands in that too. And they put messages in there because if you play the game, it says a whole lot. The year is based in 2035, and they give like a little background before the whole, they call it the virus, before it spread in 2020. It said that's when it happened, and this game came out like a few years ago. They mentioned that. They mentioned 2023. That's when basically all hell broke loose. All right, and everything crashed. So hey, we'll see. But they put in these games and these movies and these TV shows are what's to come.
And in this instance, they're telegraphing within 6 months, by the end of the summer, food shortages en masse. I've talked about this and the reasons for this without just saying, hey, it's going to happen. We've looked at a lot of different issues, from the weather to fertilizer, things like that have stifled anything that we're going to grow here in America this year. The snowpack out there at Jackson Station, which is normally over 60 inches, was 2 inches. People got hell in a handbasket coming because they're turning a cheek to all this. This is real deal. I've also got my hands on some key information that I'm going to be covering exclusively tonight on the live stream. Information that dates back years ago that shows that they knew all of this in advance, and they actually have in this simulation that in the year 2022, this whole food shortage thing kicks off. It's right there years ago in the simulation. I'm going to cover that tonight on the live stream. Make sure to join me. Go on live Monday.
Yeah, and I advise brothers to check out his D Live because you get pretty caught up with a lot of things going on worldwide. Go on D Live and look up Dabu. Another good one I watch is Def Mike. All right, but let me get a scripture now. Let's see. All right, 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, 2 Corinthians 2, verse 11. You see, and one of his devices that he's going to use is what? Is a famine. All right. This is what he's, orchestrating. All right. Is what this devil is orchestrating. So he can, it's called the Hegelian dialect. All right. Problem, reaction, solution, and these people ain't ready. All right. These people are not ready. And that's what I was going to say. The Great Depression, that happened before. All right. Going to the 1930s, the late 1920s to 1930s. And it was a major food shortage. All right. So another Great Depression is coming. All right. And this is all being orchestrated. Problem, reaction, solution. The problem's going to be all out hell breaking loose. It's going to be more than just a famine. But the solution to, in the eyes of the elite is the chip, the charagma. But you're not to take that, because if you take that, you will be reserved for nuclear fire. This is in Revelation, the 14th chapter. Once Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, when he returns with the host of the holy angels, all right, simultaneously the missiles will come and nuke America. And those who have the mark, you're going to be reserved unto nuclear fire. All right. So if you're hearing this and you believe, have faith in Yahweh Shemashai, and ultimately the Lord will feed us. All right. Just have faith and believe that the Lord feed you. All right. Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65 verse 13. Verse Slakia. Yeah, verse 13. Therefore, thus said the Lord, power. Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. All right. So a whole lot of hungry people. A whole lot of people are going to be hungry in these coming months. All right. Okay. A whole lot of people are going to become hungry. Some people are hungry now. You got a lot of poor in downtown LA. All right. It's downtown LA. It's not just Skid Row anymore. We used to talk about how Skid Row was like tents and poor people, and all of them are Jake. Most of them. But now it's like everywhere. You walk a few blocks down from USC and you'll see tents. All right. So a lot of people are going to become more hungry. All right. When these food prices inflate. All right. When the prices inflate and people can't afford them, people are going to come in desperate times to feed their family. All right. Crime is going to rise. All right. Violence. But the Lord's going to feed his elect, though. He's going to feed his chosen. All right. They're going to eat, drink, and rejoice while the opposite of everyone else. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 18. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Right? So great tribulation is coming, and people are going to come in desperate times when all hell breaks loose, when there's no food. People are going to resort to violence. All right? Every man for himself. Every man for himself. All right? It's going to be all out hell breaking loose. You're going to have certain people, citizens, maybe forming together. All right? And having blockades, having territory. and then you're gonna have another group of citizens having another blockade somewhere else. All right, you're gonna have, you know, other civilians just killing and taking whatever. All right, desperate times is gonna come, especially towards the woman. You know, so she's at her liberty right now. Hey, it's gonna come a time when she's gonna be very through out here. All right, it's gonna be very bad. Okay. Let me get one last scripture. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 74. Hear, all ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for your power, Yahweh Bashimashah is your guide. So hey, that's to whoever has ears to hear. You know, the Lord's gonna deliver us out of trouble. Okay, if we just keep pushing. You know, I'll say this to myself: hey, the Lord's gonna be with you. If you keep pushing, you keep fighting, keeping the faith. All right, getting back up when you do fall. Okay, doing this work. You know, repenting. The Lord's gonna be with you. All right, so be not afraid and neither doubt. Okay. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to my other apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to all members of the elect. With that, Shalom.